Alright then, so hey, what is up guys, it's Pohdoh here, and in this video, I know I haven't been making a lot of Modern Combat 5 videos, and just because time is scarce, and I'll be talking about that in this video. Is it's just gonna be like a report, how college is. I can watch this later on in the future, and you guys can hear, for those of you who have no idea what college is like, then you guys can hear what's it all about, and just my personal opinions. Right now, I'm in UC Santa Barbara. That's a college I am in right now. So maybe it's different in I don't know, like Texas or somewhere, or Maine or somewhere else in the United States or another country. Maybe it's a little different, but at least here for a lot of Californian colleges, I'll just give you my experiences and just my general tips. So far I've been taking classes for a little over 2 weeks now, and yes, I am living in a dorm right now, doing all that good stuff. And I'll just tell like basic stuff, and I'll talk about the stuff that pertains more to my channel. And first of all, it's a lot different. You can really connect with people a lot better here, and the main reason why is because you're living really close to each other. You sleep really close to each other, so I mean, it's pretty natural that you get to know a lot of the people better, especially like even when you can drive. The problem is that it still is a hassle, but a lot of your best friends are just like 5 minute walk, or at the very most they're like maybe like a 10 minute walk up the stairs, or maybe the elevator's broken, maybe if they're in a different building. But I mean, the whole point is that they're very, very close, so you're gonna be spending a lot more time with other people instead of being inside your room. That's not like a choice it's not like really a choice you can make. It's just like something you have to do unless you want to be completely isolated. And I mean, I'm telling you right now, if you're a loner in college, it really, really sucks. Not having a consistent group is, it's just really boring overall. You can get away with it in high school, just hanging out by yourself, just being on the internet and stuff. But in college, it really doesn't fly, just because there's so much stuff you can only do with a group, and there's just so much more fun stuff you can do here in college. I know I'm being really general, but for the most part, I mean, like here in UC Santa Barbara, I live right next to a beach. I mean, just the beach alone, I mean, you can do so much different stuff. You can surf. There's a rock that you can also rock climb. They also have a few walls over there because there's a cliff. You can also kayak. I mean, there's just so much different stuff you can do. Not even with athletics or physical activities. You can just hang out with a bunch of friends, and it's really, really easy. And you can study together. So overall, it's a lot more connected. You're gonna be hanging out with a lot more people in college. That's just something I generally noticed. Let's see, what else is there about the workload? There's honestly not as much work as I would think. I'm in a summer program right now, so instead of like a full 12, full 10 weeks, semester thing, where you get your grades in 10 weeks, it's like a 6 week course. So everything is crunched up. I'm only taking 2 classes because that's the maximum they'll let you, just because there's no way you can fit 3 classes, because you're going to be having a lecture every single day. Normally it's a lecture every 2 days, but the problem with that is that since it's a 6 week schedule, they have to crunch up a lot of the course material. And regardless, it's not too much work overall. That's just my personal opinion. A lot of it is just time management. Go outside every day, hang out in the night, eat at a restaurant every single day. But the only problem with that is that you need some time, whether it be by yourself or whether it be with friends, to actually study. And depending on the college you go, the attitude will be different. So if you go to like, the top 5 universities, obviously people are going to be studying a lot more than they are going to be hanging out. But no matter where you go, I do highly recommend that you at the very least get your daily work done, at least like 1 or 2 hours of studying. And if you don't, you're gonna fall behind, and it's just a nightmare to fall behind. You have to keep in mind, like 8 out of 10 college students report that stress was a huge issue with their life. And I think a lot of it is time management, but keep in mind I am a freshman myself, so I can't really say for sure. I sound like I've been in college for a really long time, which I haven't, but these are just like my personal experiences. And about gaming in general, gaming in college, and my channel in specific, I'm finding I have a lot less time to game. And it's not that I'm really busy, it's just that there's so many other stuff to do besides hanging out in your dorm and playing games, or even with your friend. I mean, there are like League of Legends, League of Legends like huge parties, in the top floor, where people just stay up to like 3 o'clock in the night playing League of Legends. But for like one like by yourself time, there's not nearly as much. And it's not that you don't have it's not like you're forced to go out and hang out with people, but it's just it just feels like a better use of your time. And I think I tweeted this out. Yeah, I tweeted out before that as you get older, video games tend to get a lot more boring, and I do believe that. And it's not that video games get boring. It's just that they aren't as enjoyable and they aren't as addicting. And it's not just one genre. It's just like everything, like just video games in general. And you have to keep in mind that your mom and dad, probably not your mom, but I'm like almost 100% sure your dad, they probably play video games themselves, but I'm assuming that the majority of your guys' parents don't anymore. And there's a very specific reason for that. And I think that is because they don't find it as enjoyable, or they just don't. They just find better stuff to do. So I think that's what I'm going through right now, and doesn't mean I'm gonna stop my channel. Every once in a while, I need my alone time, just to hang out by myself, go on the internet, maybe play one or two matches of Modern Combat 5, go log on to Order and Chaos, say hi to people. But overall, especially I think as I get older, that time is gonna diminish. So I'm sorry about the really shitty gameplay in the background, and I still am busy unlocking stuff here, but it's been slow going just because whatever time I have left is normally reserved to Order and Chaos. That's just the game I find a lot more enjoyable, and unfortunately that is also the game that's a lot more time consuming than Modern Combat 5. That may just be because I'm a lot more in touch with the community. Order and Chaos now, and the Modern Combat 5 community is it's very close, but at the same time it's very distant in that it's very hard to get into the community. And once you're in there, once you're inside the community, then you're like a brother. But then to get inside, you have to invest a lot of hours into the community. And I was like that in like freshman year, middle school, because I had the time to play Modern Combat 2 a lot and join a clan. But I just don't have the time anymore. And you can see every day that my aim gets sloppier and sloppier. So that being said, what else is there? Let's see. I already talked about time management, and being by yourself, without a parent, I don't feel homesick yet. People say that most freshmen do feel homesick eventually, but a lot of whenever I feel homesick, well, I don't really, but then like I think a big reason why I don't feel homesick right now is because of the fact that whenever I'm by myself and I'm playing video games, or I'm on the computer editing, or I'm on the internet watching YouTube videos, it just feels just like I'm in my room back at home. So I don't feel so far away from my old lifestyle. It's not completely different. That being said, a lot of your schedule is different. Regardless, you're gonna have to go out and eat by yourself. You're gonna have to plan out, when to hang out with certain people, when to play sports, when to swim, when to go to the beach, and a lot of it is just planning. And that's why I said that it really sucks if you don't have a group, or if you don't have a close knit group of friends to hang out with. And yeah, because you miss out on all those activities and you just feel really, really lonely. In high school, like I said, you can pull it off just because of the fact that, you're in high school. I mean, who cares? You can be going off to college soon. But then, this is another thing I want to talk about. So once you go into college, it's a completely clean slate. You can just, like, to give you how idea, you have no reputation. Like, everything is clean. They don't know anything about you. They don't know anything about what you've done in the past except for what you tell them. So for the first couple days, you can just go to the cafeteria by yourself, go to the dining hall by yourself, sit down in a random group, introduce yourself, get into a conversation, get their phone numbers, and you're good to go. You can do that. You can't do it in high school just because you're already established. It'll be really weird if you like walked into a group with a bunch of strangers and like asked for the phone numbers. But I mean, for the first couple of weeks, it's just completely normal, just because no one knows each other. And here at least you're not really going to have any high school friends for the most part. And it's not a good idea to cling on to your high school friends just because, those could prevent you from making newer friendships. Because I already met a lot of really cool people, which I probably would, and which I met completely by chance. If I had left my room, like 5 minutes earlier, I would have never met them. I would have never met them and probably would have never talked to them my entire life. Let's see, what else is there? The cost. Is college worth it? I do definitely think it is worth it, because the problem is that if you don't go to college, it's just a lot of missed experiences. It's not just about the academics. You really learn, and I don't know if that's how I feel right now, but I feel a lot more independent. And back when I was with my parents, I felt really dependent. I felt like, I needed to depend on them for food, for laundry, for shelter, for this, for that. I felt like I couldn't really do anything by myself and live by myself. But now I feel, even though I am living off my parents' money, obviously, I feel like I can like, go out and plan my day by myself. I don't need anyone else's help for that. And then I could really just do whatever I want. If I want to eat dinner at like 9 o'clock, I can do that. I could just save up food and eat it in my room. It's no big deal. You don't need to listen. You don't need to come downstairs when your, mom calls you for dinner. It's none of that stuff. You really just plan out your entire schedule. And let's see. I think that's pretty much it. That's my entire experiences so far. Let's see, I'm taking writing, and I'm also taking math for the summer program. I'm taking legitimate courses. It's all for real credit, so it's just basically exactly the same thing as me, starting the fall semester or starting the fall quarter. It's not semesters. I don't believe colleges run on semesters for the most part, and if they do, it's a different system from the UCs. And let's see, what else is there? I already talked about the cost. I can go off more on the cost, and you're also gonna have to manage your own money, and that's something that people may not be too familiar with. A lot of seniors are familiar with managing their money, but it's something you have to keep in mind that you don't want to spend too much. It's really, really, really easy to spend too much here in college just because, you have access to all the stores in front of you. You can just buy whatever you want, basically, if you feel like it. But then, that's another aspect that I'm still trying to learn. I haven't spent too much just because, I'm not a big fan of buying things I don't need for the most part. But, I feel like maybe some of you guys might have the issue when you go to college. And, we should talk a little more about the classes, how it's different from high school. Let's see. Oh yeah, one thing about classes in college, there is no talking. Once there is like none of this, group of friends that you talk during class, and then the teacher has to tell you guys to all shut up, and then you can just slack off and sleep during class. There's none of that in college, or at least so far there's none of that. Just because everyone wants a good grade. Literally everyone wants a good grade. There's, no one really wants to bullshit a class, and that's just not a good idea since your grades are really, really important here. Your grades, I mean, to give you an idea, if your grades go really bad, like your parents could just stop paying for college, and then you're fucked. Like if they don't pay for college, then you can't go to college, and then your entire life's ruined. So there's a lot more pressure to do well in school. So you're not going to be making friends in classes for the most part. I mean, maybe if you can make friends on the way to class or after class, but you're not going to be talking during class. That pisses everyone off. And if you don't want to go to class, you don't need to go to class at the same time. That's something you have to keep in mind. I mean, no one's forcing you to go to the lectures or forcing you to go to the discussions unless there is a final exam. And that's another thing, is that there's none of this like daily homework bullshit for the most part. They give you recommended problems for a lot of different classes, except for writing, because that's really obvious. You have to continuously write to get better. But for like math and science, there isn't daily homework. They kind of expect you to do the work by yourself and not get fucked over in the midterms or in the final. And the midterm and the final by themselves is worth like 90% of your grade. So if you mess up in one test, you pretty much fuck up your entire grade. And then and there is no redos. There is no like going to summer school and redoing your GPA or redoing a class. Or if you fail a class, you can just do it all over again. There's no redos. If you fail a class, that seriously demolishes your GPA and everything. So yeah, overall there's a lot more pressure to do well during classes. So you can't really make friends during class. You have to like go out yourself and invite people, hang out, eat together, just that kind of stuff. So anyways, I think that's all I have to say. Once again, I'm sorry about the boring gameplay in the background if I'm not so good. That's just a result of me not playing too long, and also because the lag, as you saw right there, the guy was teleporting. So anyways, this is Pohdoh here. Rate, comment, subscribe. Right now it is 1 o'clock in the night because I was just doing other stuff until now, hanging out with friends for the most part. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna be typing out a little more of my essay. I'm gonna be going to sleep. So anyways, yep, this is Pohdoh. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.